On to the game that we are looking at. The Browns are headed to Houston to take on the Texans, and for once, the Cleveland for since the first time since 1994 that they are favored in a playoff game. Nearly
Oh,
the
30
last time in
years?
1994. Yeah, last time in '94. It was actually Bill Belichick's only postseason win as a Browns head coach.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's all coming around. But
full circle.
Joe Flacco, I think last week we talked a little bit about Flacco, a little bit of lack of trust in him. And after seeing how the Texans handled business to get in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to be going out in the first round. So I'm definitely going with the Browns to take this first, or the Texans at home to take this first game.
Oh, you're in on the Texans?
I'm all
Rookie
in.
Stroud, rookie Stroud
Keep it
versus
rolling
Browns defense doesn't make you nervous?
versus Hall of Fame. Versus Hall of Famer Joe Flacco. Now, let me see if they played him earlier this season because I think they did.
So they played the Texans in week 16, but Stroud was out. So that was Case Keenum.
Yeah,
And again, I know the Browns defense all year has been one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. But
yeah,
if you look at the end of the season run here for quarterbacks that they played, I mean they played Pittsburgh was this with Kenny Pickett? This was Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett.
yeah.
They won. Then they lost to Russell Wilson, who was kind of playing well, lost to Stafford, beat Trevor Lawrence, who I think is talented but wasn't playing well at the end of the year. Beat Fields, beat Keenum, beat the Jets, beat Browning, or sorry, lost to Browning, but they were resting all their guys. So it's not like Flacco has
Of
necessarily
course.
gone against a murderer's row of opposing quarterbacks. And when he faced, Stafford's the best one in that group. And I went back and watched some of the stuff from that game as well too earlier. And Puka Nakua was getting open on some of these corners, and I think they were able to move the ball a little bit. And I Flacco, he's gonna have time. The offensive line's gonna be able to protect. But
Yeah,
honestly, I think I think I'm kind of agreeing with you because I just don't want to pick against Stroud because we were kind of
yeah,
alluding to this last week, but going into the playoffs right now, I'm just of all the quarterbacks, he is one of the guys that I am most confident in. And I honestly don't know where that's gonna I don't know how to filter that in for like the whole bracket here. I still don't really know what the ceiling is for this team. But Stroud just week to week, his consistency has been near the top of the league, and I'm just about as confident in him as I am in any of these quarterbacks. So even against the Browns defense, and his numbers against pressure are good too. So I don't even know if is the Browns defense even going to matter against Stroud because he's just going to be running around and making good passes anyways. He had that pass against the Colts last week where the defender just like barrels into him and he still is able to lay it out there for Nico Collins. So weirdly enough, like Stroud is built to go against this Browns defense. So I don't know. Would you rather have
yeah.
seen Stroud in that regular season matchup? Or do you like the fact that this is like his first time going against him? It's new. We've never seen it before.
I mean, I would have liked some experience, obviously against its team if they had it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they will be getting their wide receivers back in Noah Brown and Robert Woods. And so, I
Noah
mean, they're
Brown's
saying as
back.
long as warmups go well, they should be playing. Yeah, so that's going to be big, especially since they don't have Tank Dell. I think he's out for the season.
Yeah.
So they still have Nico Collins, who Stroud hit for the first play of the game. The first drive for 75 yards or so. I think he'll be just fine, and he's at home. I think him being at home is also huge,
That's
and
huge.
going up against Joe Flacco, you already mentioned he's pretty unreliable. He'll give you a pick or two. He'll give you an interception or two, and that'll keep the Texans around, and if they don't score on every drive.
Let's look up the odds right now for Joe Flacco interception because I don't even know if it's going to be one. It's going to be two, right? He's averaging like two a
Yeah.
game, two and a half. And
Yeah, like
Stroud
two
is
and a
just
half.
Stroud's not going to throw a pick, right? Or one at the max.
Maybe we'll see, but yeah, I don't think it should be too much.
And this is the first game of the slate, the early game on the Saturday slate. Flacco's over under right now, 275 for pass yards is interesting. Minus 148 for one interception. They don't have alt interceptions, so you can't bet like 2 or 3. FanDuel, do alt lines for the interceptions. I want to bet Joe Flacco 2+ interceptions. I want to make some money on that. The problem is in the other games, like we're saying, they lost that Rams game. They scored 19 points. In the other games, 31, 36, 37, Flacco's been over 300 yards. So like we're saying, they've been able to move the ball and do some successful stuff. The one thing that I don't know if they're going to be able to do, and maybe it's going to matter, like, are they going to be able to run the ball in this game? Because the Rams were able to run the ball a little bit when they were able to beat him. Kyron Williams was, doing a little bit in that game. And I know Singletary's had some moments, but do you think Stroud's going to need the run game in this one?
I mean, he hasn't in the past to really need it. It would be good to have that change off. But I think he can definitely beat this team without the run. Just because of the number of air yards, how aggressive he can be, with how accurate he can be. I think this team so far has found no issue with throwing it, and we'll see. I mean, I think they should be able to make it without a run game, but that doesn't mean they won't hurt to have.
Kind of almost agree with you, which if they don't need the run game to beat this team, then it's like, why am I not picking CJ Stroud? So I do kind of think that this offense might have the firepower to do it. This is a tough matchup on paper, though, for a rookie quarterback to go up against this potential pass rush, to go up against Myles Garrett in your first playoff game. But D'Amico Ryans versus Kevin Stefanski as well, too. I don't know who, I think you may even be able to argue that. Do the Texans have the head coach advantage there? And the Texans defense has been playing well too. Will Anderson's been playing well lately. Stingley's back and he's playing healthy.
Yeah.
I want to be able, we should do individual props. Can I do Stingley to have the interception on Joe Flacco? Because I think, plus 5-1. Stingley interception 5-1. Lock that in. That is free money. Derek Stingley will have a pick in this game.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. I know Stingley's definitely been playing better. He's definitely been playing the last couple games. We'll keep an eye. But shout out Houston making that second round, going up against Baltimore. We'll touch base with them later. Next game on Peacock only, Miami visiting Kansas City. And I'm going to keep it 100%. This is the most I've not cared about a Chiefs team in a long time. I mean, this team is just so whiny and no wide receivers, and it's so hard to watch. It's such a hard team to watch. But despite all that, I do think that, obviously I got to pick the Chiefs here. I do think they're going to find a way at home. If this was on the road, it'd be a lot more shaky. I'd be a lot more sweaty. But considering Miami's records against a team above 500, any playoff teams, it's been bad. It's been bad, and they kind of do feel like a fluke team.
Are you signing up for Peacock? Do you have to get it to watch this one?
Yeah. And no, I'm not signing up, but yes, you
do.
We got our ways.
Yeah, but in theory, like, where would this game, like, let's just say you had to sign up for this game, would you? Like, do you think this is
just because
do you think this is a smart move? Putting this game exclusive like this?
I don't know. Yeah. That's pretty tough because they just want to force people to watch an actual meaningful game on Peacock.
So I saw somewhere Well, I saw somewhere that they paid $110 million for this game. So if they want to make their money back on subscribers, It looks like Peacock is $6 a month. So they're going to need 18 million people to sign up for this game to make their money back. 18 million new people
I
for an
guess.
NFL playoff game. Is that number attainable? I mean, the
Maybe.
thing
I
is,
mean, they had an average of 17.7 million viewers per game this last season. And this is a playoff game with the Chiefs and the Dolphins, two of the bigger franchises.
that's true. Pat Mahomes too.
Oh my
NFL's number
gosh.
one.
The Pistons are losing. They were up by like 5 or 6 against the Rockets. And then of course at home they find a way to blow this lead. All right, back to what you're saying, sorry.
Well, no, I was trying to figure out what a playoff game gets for average viewers. And we're getting some
Yeah.
numbers here
I was
that
seeing
are
some graphic.
pretty big. What did you see?
Yeah, I was seeing some graphic though saying 17.7 and that it's been the most viewers since like 2019.
I'm getting for
I can't believe.
last season, is this the divisional round? Last season in the divisional round, the games averaged
Yeah.
37 million viewers,
Oh, okay.
up 21%. My guess is that's pretty high.
Okay.
This is back from the 2021 season too. This is an older article.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs Bills game, that divisional game, classic, 42 million viewers for that primetime
Mm.
matchup. So let's just say there's 20 million people that want to tune into this game. I don't know that maybe that honestly, once I saw 18 million, that might not be a bad number for an NFL playoff game. I don't know. Maybe the people
Yeah.
over at Peacock did their math right.
Hey, look, these guys know what they're doing, getting people on there. I think it does make sense for Peacock. It just doesn't make sense for the viewers, but this decision wasn't made for the viewers. It was made for money. So,
Is six
uh,
bucks a good pay-per-view price for an NFL game? If you had
playoff
to pay,
game.
if you had to pay $6 per playoff game, is that a good deal?
I think yeah, I guess so. Yeah, not like you're gonna find that, but yeah,
Might get a little expensive, especially since the playoff games are usually for you can
yeah,
find ways to get them for free. But maybe it is just the Chiefs team this year too that would make you a little bit hesitant because if this was a Chiefs team from a couple seasons ago where you're like, oh yeah, we can go
yeah.
and take care of business and be just
No,
fine.
I'd be in there.
Yeah, maybe you'd be in there, throw a pause in there. But Tyreek Hill returning to Kansas City because when you
That's
guys played
true.
him
Against
earlier
them,
this year in London, it was overseas,
he was
so
hurt. Yeah,
yeah, he wasn't.
yeah. Is this his first game back?
So this will be his
Might
first game
be.
officially in KC, the first official
Yeah,
return.
that's crazy. In the playoffs. Yeah, it'd suck if he was the reason they win. But if they win, it probably is going to be because of him.
Do you think the weather works in your advantage? Because I think right now they're saying it's going to be negative. Is the wind chill -30 right now? I think that, well, not right now, but like I think for the game, last time I looked it up, they were saying -30. I don't know if they were saying snow, but if it's going to be like super cold,
True.
if it's going to be
Yeah.
like a run, if it's going to be a run focused game, do you actually like your odds in that?
Is that a run bogus?
If it's going to be like a run
A run
focused, like a run heavy
focus.
game,
Oh. No, because Pacheco is he's so injury prone. That's still got to be throwing potential. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we could see if he can take a lot of carries, and we obviously do need to trade off to open those passing lanes, but yeah, I can definitely see our team leaning towards passing.
so Pacheco, the last 7 games, has been 73 yards a game, 4 touchdowns as well over the last 7 games. He's kind of been the best player in your offense. I think Papa Price might have mentioned that too when we had him
Yeah.
on. And that would have been like right as this stretch would have started for Pacheco. But 73 yards a game
Hmm.
puts him on about a
That's crazy.
1,200 1,200-yard pace for the
You
season.
just got to stay healthy.
So yeah, you're right. If he is staying healthy though, I don't know if you guys run. I'm not saying you guys necessarily run the ball better than the Dolphins, but for your offense specifically, if you guys are forced to run the ball, that might actually be a good thing for you because Pacheco doing it has been the best thing in your offense. It's been the thing
Yeah,
you guys have it's been the one thing that's actually been working for you.
no, definitely. It's definitely been one of the few things working on this team. So tough to watch him, especially once Mahomes started complaining.
Huh?
All
Luckily,
right,
they're behind the paywall this
going
week.
to the team. Uh, Going to the team that they're probably playing, the Chiefs. It's Pittsburgh at Buffalo, and I mean, I guess it is weird, going to chalk. I don't know. I can't pick Mason Rudolph to beat the Bills, but I don't know. The Bills have been, like we mentioned already, shaking themselves. Playoff pressures. I I don't know, Rem. Do you think there's any shot for Steelers here to pull an upset?
So Fataport said on the Tuesday pod that he kind of liked the Steelers in this game. I don't know though. The Bills right now have kind of been playing good. The DVOA number for them as well this season has been, they've been top of the league in DVOA all year. They're number 3 right now as we head into the playoffs. And they're kind of like like your team where I know their offense is not necessarily playing the best as compared to where it's been in the past, but them
Yeah.
becoming more run centric has seemed to benefit them. And James Cook was a Pro Bowler this year. I know Josh Allen has had his interception problems, but again, their ability to run the ball has really, I think, made them again, they're obviously not playing better, but it's in a way made them a tougher team to beat. Their defense is still able to get a stop when it needs to. So this is another one. Cold weather, maybe it's a ugly game. And I think the Bills can just run the ball better than the Steelers. And I know Mason Rudolph has looked good the last couple of weeks, but him going into Buffalo and beating Josh Allen is still a tall ask. I actually do really when Fataport picked the Steelers, that really makes me want to pick them because I know Fataport's good at picking an upset. He can definitely see it coming. Pause, but I don't know. The Bills numbers right now seem they're just a little bit too tough to overlook. I'm really leaning Josh Allen.
Interesting. Yeah, I really like the Steelers as an upset team, as a
Mm.
team to come and, make some noise coming from that tough division. I mean, the lowest team in their division was 9-8. But their rest of their team, going up against the Bills, like we mentioned, is a tough task. I mean, the Bills had a second there where they looked like they're out the playoffs, and then they came storming back to win the division. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do in this game after having so much time for coaching. How the Steelers are going to try to attack the Bills and their weaknesses because they do have a couple of glaring weaknesses.
Are you gonna pick Steelers then? Are you gonna commit to the Steelers upset? Because I think
You know
I
what? Buffalo at home is kind of shaky sometimes.
yeah. Because I
Yeah,
honestly
I
have it
think I
written
think
down
we can take
Steelers
Steelers.
over. I have it written down Steelers over Bills because of what Fataport said. But the more I looked into the numbers, I think I'm gonna pick the Bills. But I
I'm
think we
going
also can't
Steelers.
have the same pick. Yeah, we can't. I think we can't have the same picks.
I got you.
Okay.
No, we're taking Steelers. I don't. I think them at home is kind of shaky. They're kind of like overlooking this team, and this team has obviously had issues at some point to be limping into the playoffs. So, but flipping over to the NFC side, Eagles versus Tampa Bay. Going from the one that probably has the biggest upset on the one likely for an upset on the AFC to the NFC now. I mean, Rem, does this kid continue? The Eagles finish the season losing the last, I think it's 4 out of 5 games. And one of those games, of course, did they have anyone playing in that last game against the Giants? I don't think so.
First half, they were still losing when they were
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. So, but yeah, only barely beating the Cardinals in that stretch. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 losses. Yeah, so 5 out of 6 losses. Yeah, barely beating the Giants the last time they played them on Christmas Day. And I was watching that game, and I was really, I really thought the Giants could pull the upset there. But I
That was
mean,
close.
Ram, I gotta go with the Eagles here just because I just think the Bucks are way too unpredictable. But I mean, does the Eagles going on the road, sway you a little bit on this game at all?
Yeah, I think I would be much more confident if this was Eagles Bucks home Eagles. I mean,
The link,
the the Eagles are the better team on paper going into this game.
yeah.
And I think you're right. The Bucks are, if you look at the record, the Bucks are on kind of a heater right now. They've won 5 of their last 6 going into the playoffs, but they lost that Saints game. And I think that would have been a nice win to have. Again, maybe winning 6 in a row going to the playoffs. You're like, whoa, this team is really on. But they could have looked a little bit better in that Saints game. And then 9-0 against the Panthers, holding the Panthers to 0 points, but 9 points for your offense. So I think you're right. The Bucks themselves could be looking a little bit better going into the playoffs for a potential upset team. But I think, do the Eagles have everybody healthy too? Is AJ Brown back as well? Everybody's looking good. Do we have an AJ
We
Brown?
actually got some breaking news here
Oh,
live
oh,
on the
is this gonna sway
pod.
my pick?
It might. It's gonna sway mine. AJ Brown removes all Eagles content off of Instagram, deactivates Twitter ahead of game. He's missed the
Oh,
last 2 days of practice, was not at his locker today. And yeah, you
oh.
look up AJ Brown's content, it's all off. It's very clear that he's not happy with what's going on. And when he was in contract disputes with Tennessee, he took Tennessee off his X bio. So social media has been a way that he has shown distress, and so he missed the 2 practices that he had with the knee injury after week 18 against the Giants, which I mean, oh my gosh, why are we playing these guys? So it made me not think that he was not on his locker Friday, but deleting all of Eagles content from his social media. Also, he has not been talking to the media the last couple of weeks. And he said if I was taught if I have nothing good to say, wait, if I was taught if I had nothing good to say to not say anything, I'll take the
Mm,
fine if I have to. So,
mm.
Jalen Hurts calling out the team's commitment after the loss to the Seahawks. The defense, it seems like, is more of the issue. It's a yikes. It's a yikes. I mean, they had issues before they switched to Matt Patricia as the defensive follower. I don't know. AJ Brown's kind of been the only good player on this team, like great player on this team. Jalen Hurts has had some issues now. Injuries, I think, have affected him. But if there was one player, I mean, the best player on their team, I think it's AJ Brown. And if he's got issues, on the Eagles going to flying into Tampa Bay on the road, I'm getting really worried here against the Bucks, who've had some surprising wins this past season.
Oh, it matters to me. I don't think it just swayed my pick. While we were talking, I just took the Bucks money line. They're plus odds just in case anything happens. Just in case these things starts a moving.
Right
AJ
now.
Brown, AJ Brown is like the offensive MVP. There's like 2 guys on this offense that matter. When I'm like, who's playing?
Yeah.
It's AJ Brown and Jason Kelsey. If those 2 guys are in, I'm like, okay, did this team? And if Hurts is playing well, obviously Hurts as well too. But if AJ Brown is
Yeah.
out,
I
the
don't
third
know.
best
I mean,
receiver in the
last
league,
time they played each other, it was week 3. And Jalen Hurts had 2 picks against this team. You know, the Bucks, they just couldn't get their offense scoring. They only had 3 points after 3 quarters, but the Eagles only put up 25 points on this team. You know, AJ Brown did have a field day, 131 points against them. Or I mean yards, obviously, but I don't know.
So just take those off the board.
Yeah, I know. And their defense is a lot worse in the Eagles. Mayfield, he's had a lot more time to get used to his wide receivers, get used to his team. He was obviously in a hot streak at this point, but I mean, it was a close game for most of the way. Monday Night Football and the bright lights. I mean, it was in Tampa Bay as well, but you take a couple tush pushes out of there, and who knows what happens? I'm kind of in on the Bucks the more I talk about it.
Another big piece of this when we're talking about guys that matter is, AJ Brown is one of them. Jason Kelsey is the other one. But defensively, I think if we're looking at, and we're trying to pinpoint reasons that the defense hasn't played well, because the thing with the Eagles is like, do we have to forget about the first half of the season when they were like 10-1? Like, does that just not matter? Is this team that Steelers team that was like 12-0? Is that what this team is, or is it, actually a good team? But one of the first, through the first half of the season, one of the big stars of this defense was the rookie Jalen Carter, who had 14 pressures, 4 sacks through the first 8 games. The last 8 games, only 4 pressures, 2 sacks. I think Jordan Davis as well, the other young stud, I think some of his numbers have gone down the back half of the season. And I know you look in the secondary, like Bradbury, some of the numbers that he's allowed this year have been, some of the higher numbers in the league. But Carter as well, too. I feel like Carter's production just the last half of the year really fell off a little bit, his impact. And I was trying to see if I could find defensive rookie of the year odds as well, too. I don't know if they still have those out this late in the season. But it seemed like through the first half of the year that he was basically a lock to win that award. And by the end of the season, I mean, the way Will Anderson was playing, Devon Witherspoon, I think Witherspoon might have even been in the Pro Bowl as well, too. And Carter, who, again, was not just a lock to be like a rookie of the year. Like, we were like, oh, is Jalen Carter going to be on one of the All-Pro teams? And he missed out on those and not a Pro Bowl as well, too. So, like you're saying, some of their good players aren't playing well, and now their studs are missing. Can we rely? Is this like a Jalen Hurts has to carry the team type of game?
On the road, too. This team is a lot more splintered than that first team in week 3. They're a lot shakier, a lot more question marks on defense, a lot more people doubting them. And those Philly fans can be ruthless. I don't know. I think I kind of got to go with the Bucks here. Is it going to be totally crazy if it's the Eagles who win this game? No, but I do actually think the Bucks are going to take this win just because of how shaky this defense is, how kind of splintered this team has been, and just because of that AJ Brown thing is real. It's real. I mean, it's similar to Stephon Diggs. A lot of these, big time wide receivers, if they don't believe in your team, it's just not it. It's just not happening.
I think I agree with you. I think I'm going Bucks.
All right, we're both taking the Bucks. All right, moving on to the next game.
Are we overreacting? I don't think we are.
No, I don't. I mean, this is definitely like kind of like their most important player on offense for sure. I mean, I don't.
And like you're saying, he was probably the reason they won that first game.
Yeah, no, for sure. 131 yards, a couple tush pushes, and who knows. Moving on to the next game, Rams, the Stafford and Goff trade comes to a head. Both have, comparing stats, while the Rams have a Super Bowl ring, they both have gotten similar number of wins, stuff like that. So now it's the showdown. And, I really do think this game could go either way, but I really think the Lions are going to handle business at home.
Ooh.
They feel like a playoff team. I think they have the veterans, or they have the quality on both sides of the ball. And I don't know. I mean, I know the Rams are going to give them a run for their money for sure. This is not going to be an easy out by any means whatsoever. But I don't, And the Rams, I think they're gonna get knocked out here in the first round, even though they've gone into the playoffs on a 4 game winning streak. And that fifth game was a overtime loss to the Ravens.
This is brutal for Lions fans. This is, I think, I don't know if this is
Yeah.
worst case scenario, but I mean, the Rams are one of the like NFC teams, or one of the teams that's playing better football down the stretch here in the NFC. Like we're saying, they beat the Browns. They've, had some, I don't think they necessarily look good against the Niners, but they've had some other good performances as well. I know Stafford's numbers have looked good. He hadn't turned the ball over for a while there down the stretch of the season. So, for the Lions fans going into the playoffs, they win the division, they break that streak, and to be, on that kind of emotional high. But to get this
Yeah.
matchup where I think, you win the division and get the home playoff game, and I don't want to say that division win feels like a lock, but you get
Mm-hmm.
like a breath of fresh air saying, okay, we definitely have a big advantage going in there. And not only is it a team that's playing well, it's literally a quarterback that is maybe the best quarterback in, recent franchise history. We'd have to go back away. I don't want to disrespect guys like Bobby Lane, but Stafford is very familiar with playing in that arena, playing well, and the offense as well too, with the
Yeah.
secondary of the, some of the corner struggles that the Lions have had. Is this going to be another? Is this we're going to be another one where we disagree? Because I'm really leaning Rams. And I know, the
Wow.
Stafford
Sounds like
the
it.
Stafford Goff thing is going to be the money line
Yeah.
headline. That's going to be the A plus the A block piece on the, whatever broadcast network that this one's going to be on. But what's a more
Yeah.
important matchup for this one? Stafford or Goff, or McVay or Campbell? Because again, I think the job
Mm.
that McVay has done with this Rams team, turning them around and getting them playing this well, going into the playoffs, it's just a scary matchup for Lions fans. It's a very scary one.
Yeah, I mean it is. But they do have Sam Laporta. He is practicing again, so it looks like he'll be back. So at least you get a player he's questionable, but probably has had the best rookie season ever. And while the Rams have probably wide receiver who had one of the best rookie seasons ever for him too. I think he tied I think he tied. I'm trying to remember if it was receptions or touchdowns. There's something he tied with Jefferson,
Yards?
and yeah, I think something was tied. Um, but I just think the Lions, I while the Rams are hot, I think the Lions they feel like a more consistent team. Yes, they lost to the Bears and the Packers. They've had struggles within their own division. And losing badly to the Ravens. I don't know. I mean, I just it's tough.
You're going to be able to run
This
the ball a
season
little
there's
bit
been
with
no
Kyron
clear cut.
Williams.
Yeah, I guess. Um, let's see. Seeing both teams' body of work, they've had a whole season. That's why we play it. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Rams have won the last. Let's see here.
Hutchinson versus Donald.
I mean, they've won the last 7 of 8 games. So I don't know.
What's
It's
that loss?
close. I think it's going to be a close game. Um, but I think Detroit is good at home. Let me see here. What is their record at home actually? Before I go spout and stuff.
And that
Yeah,
one
they are
loss,
6-2 at home. Rams are 5-4 on the road. So, not a great home record. I think the Lions are more built team for the playoffs. And I really like this team to hold it down. It isn't going to be easy. It's going to take a lot to knock off this Rams team, but I'm sticking with my pick of lines.
7 of 8 after the bye, like you said, at the end of the year, and then that one loss was in overtime to the Ravens. Put up
Yeah.
31 on the Ravens. Put up 36 on the Browns. Stafford.
Yeah,
Puka Nakua versus
it's
Amon-Ra.
gonna be close. I can't wait. It's gonna be a
Little
great
Rams
matchup.
Bucks parlay.
We'll see if Goff will be looking for revenge. All right. Moving on, we got the last wild card game in the playoffs here. The
It's the
Packers
last game for this
visiting
week.
Dallas. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think this is pretty easily the easiest game to pick. I don't know if Dallas lost at home yet all season. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, the Packers with Love looking shakier than ever, and um, let's see here. What is the record? I think Dallas stayed perfect at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
didn't
8
lose.
0. Yeah, they didn't lose at home, and I don't think that continues. I think that continues this next week against the Packers, who kind of I think yeah they won a couple games here to end the season, but it was against the Bears, Panthers, and Vikings. Lost to the Bucks, lost to the Giants, somehow beat the Chiefs and Lions, but I think they're just so up and down. Either you get a great Jordan Love game or not good at all, just because of the difficulty of throws he's taking. And to be one of the teams that lost to the worst team in the league, almost, giving up 30 points to the Panthers is a yikes. So I gotta go with Dallas at home. Their rankings are through the roof, both on offense and defense. They're one of the best overall units in the league. And as long as Dak Prescott doesn't mess anything up, I think they should be good. Let me see if they didn't play this year, each other in the season, but I think the poor Packers will get handled down in Dallas.
Pause. But I think the Cowboys win streak too goes back to last season. They did their last home loss was week 1 versus Tampa of last year. So that's 15 in a row at home for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
And their two playoff
yeah, I think
loss
it is.
their two playoff games last year were on the road as well too. They won at Tampa and then lost at San Francisco. And the thing is, they did win at Tampa last year. So Dak, I don't think it's not like we have to be like, ooh, can Dak win a playoff game? Like and they won that game
Yeah,
pretty dominantly as well too. So the Packers may be able to do some feisty stuff in this game. Pause, but I do think that Dak and the defense is going to be able to get this one done. And I do think big picture as well too. I do just kind of trust Dak going into the playoffs. I think Dak has played really well just this season. I think he's been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league, and he's played really well down the stretch here. So I think maybe he was second team All Pro as well too, which I don't want to. I think might be pretty fitting for the way he played this year. So I trust Dak in the playoffs. I trust this defense, and like you're saying, Jordan Love is up and down. But I mean, just in general for the Packers, getting to see Jordan Love in a playoff game is going to be nice because they had him on the 1 year
yeah,
contract this year. They're going to have to make a long term decision. And I think the decision might already have been made. I think he'll probably return, but getting playoff reps, seeing him on a big stage, I think big picture for this team, I think it'll be nice to see these young guys in that matchup.
yeah. No, I'm really excited. And I think Dallas. This is they're gonna handle business, and then everyone's gonna pick them to be the Super Bowl champion. So it'll be a typical Dallas walkover, and I don't know. They could actually. I think they could make a serious case to be in the conference championship this year. We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see. Did we want to save our picks? Are we going one by one here?
Like for a full bracket, you
Save them
mean?
for next week. Oh yeah, we'll just go through. All right, we can keep on
Wait, were
trucking
you
through
saying
it.
save them? Is that what you were saying?
Now let's just truck through them. We can just truck through them.
It's your call. We can do a rapid fire rest of the bracket quick.
Yeah, yeah, we can do a rest of bracket. Yeah, pretty rapid fire. Going back to AFC, Houston, Baltimore. Did you have the Browns winning that game? I think you had Houston as well.
I had Houston, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Both of us having Houston. I think Baltimore. I don't know. Last time they were in the number one seed, they choked away the game, but I think this is a different team. I think they've had enough scars, and I think the Ravens take care of business.
Think if we're just doing these picks right now without having seen Stroud in that playoff game against the Bills, how deep of a run do we want to make him go? But that's a tough one. Do we want the Ravens? Do we want the one seed
Wow.
Ravens to lose the first round? In the rapid fire bracket, I
No.
don't think we can do it. I think we have to pick the Ravens. But I think that game is three. I think that's Justin Tucker, 48 yards at the end of the game to win.
Would that be the best coaching job by a rookie quarterback and rookie head coach to go from a top five pick to conference championship, beating the number one team in the league, number one team in their conference? That'd be crazy.
I was consider betting them to win the
Bananas.
conference.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have the Chiefs at home taking Pittsburgh, and
Oh, is
despite
that why
Mason
you picked the
Rudolph,
the Steelers?
yeah, I mean they're good. They'll
So
be
the
at
Chiefs can
home.
play the Steelers instead of the Bills?
Exactly. And then they're at home playing the Steelers, and I think they'll handle business there. I don't think lightning will strike twice for Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, you have the Steelers, so
Yeah.
that makes it easier to pick the Chiefs. The problem is now we have the playoff history of Mahomes versus Josh Allen in play. And I do
Mm-hmm.
think that they're both run heavy teams. I think your defense is a little bit better. I think it's close. That's an ugly one. I think it's 13. I think it's like 16-19. It's low scoring. Maybe there's like no points in the fourth quarter and the Chiefs just kind of milk the clock and end the game. But let's say the Chiefs beat the Bills.
Yeah, I mean it was 20-17 last time. There was that whole controversy about the refs calling plays. So, it was
Hmm.
really close last time they played.
So if you have the
One of
refs on your
Kelsey's
side,
better
you're good.
games. So yeah, if the refs don't want to call, want to clean their glasses, we'll be just fine. Um, so on the other side, we both have the Bucks taking and coming to the Bay, Tampa Bay coming to the Bay
Well, I
Area to
have
play this. Oh, you got the Eagles. I thought you had the
I have the
Bucks.
Bucks winning, but I have the Rams winning. So mine would be Rams Niners. But yeah, you have Bucks Niners.
Oh,
But I think the Rams would be the lower seed between the
oh, you're
Rams and the
right. You're
Bucks.
right.
So you have Bucks Niners, I have
You're
Rams
right. Oh, wait.
Niners.
So on the other side, it would be the Chiefs playing against Houston then,
No, it's still
because
Chiefs. It's
the
still
oh
Chiefs
my
Bills.
gosh.
It's still Chiefs Bills because
Well,
the Houston's the 4 seed.
for you, but for me, I have Pittsburgh winning, so it'd be Chiefs. It'd be Chiefs Texans.
Oh yeah, so you got to redo your picks quick. Redo your rapid fire
Oh
picks.
my
Pick
gosh,
Stroud over the pick Stroud
my
over
favorite,
Mahomes.
my
Your new favorite
my
team.
favorite son. My favorite son is gonna take out Mahomes.
Sam's
Oh my
gonna cheat on
gosh,
his
that
team
would
live on
kill
the
me.
pod.
That's gonna kill me. No, the
You might have to
Chiefs.
do
Of
that on.
course, I'm taking the Chiefs, but it would hurt. I, wow. Wow, the Tex. I'd be shivering. I'd be shaking. I'd be real scared because the
Okay, you're gonna.
Texans are like literally the team that scares me. Like just running and gunning, you know, shooting it deep, just putting up points. It's literally a team that scares me.
I know you picked the Texans or picked the Chiefs, but would you bet on the Texans if you're a betting man? Bet the
With the
Texans plus
points,
money line.
Yeah,
Take the
exactly.
spread.
Yeah, with the point there. Yeah, I take the spread.
So
I would
you
take
still
the
have
spread
Chiefs
indeed.
Ravens.
Yeah, I still got Chiefs Ravens in the championship.
Okay, still get
Um,
there.
so you had the Rams winning down below. I had Detroit. Okay, so I do have the Tampa Bay playing the 49ers, and I think they have played before, and I think 49ers beat the brakes off of them, if I
Season
remember correctly. Was it
would have
last season?
been
Maybe
week 11. It was 27-14, and I think McCaffrey was pretty dominant in that game.
yeah. Yeah, Brock Purdy, 3 touchdowns, McCaffrey 78 yards.
And
Um,
Purdy had a good game. Okay,
yeah, 330 yards for Purdy.
was that a
Yeah, I
big
think
Ayuk game?
yeah, Ayuk, 5 receptions, 156 yards, 1 touchdown.
Ooh,
So exactly the same setting. It was in San Fran.
is
I
Ayuk's
think I
locker
was
still
actually at the
intact?
bar watching this game. Oh, what happened?
No, I'm just he still has the Niners on his social media. He's still good.
No.
The Niners
Well,
receivers are all still happy.
they have a couple more options than the Eagles, in terms
Hmm.
of weapons. So, but
I'm
yeah,
taking the
the
Niners too.
49ers, yeah, I think the Niners also got a couple turnovers. They got some fumbles and stuff. Yeah, they really beat them bad. Anyway, so you got the Niners too over the Rams. And then for our bottom bracket, I have Dallas and Detroit. You have Dallas and the Eagles.
I've doubt
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I've da-
Oh,
Dallas I've Dallas Bucks. Dallas Tampa.
oh, you have Dallas, Tampa. Okay, because we
Yeah.
both had the Bucks. Yeah, you're right. I'm tweaking. Yeah, I guess I have Dallas as well. I mean, that's going to
Still
be such
catching
a
up
close
writing down
game, the
too.
Lions and Dallas. I really do think Dallas will make it all the way to the conference championship. I wouldn't be.
Hmm.
Dallas, yeah, they did play the Lions earlier this season. Um, and yeah, Goff had 2
Played him,
picks.
yeah. Brad Allen.
Yeah, it was close. They were both 11-5. It was in Dallas, and I'm trying to see, was it a pick that ended the game or what?
That was the Brad Allen game. The ref game.
The Brad Allen game? Oh, when they got done in,
Yeah.
yeah, because they had the lineman catch it, and so the line should have won it. Actually, you're right. I remember
Maybe
yeah,
I don't want to say one of the most iconic
yeah.
regular. It wasn't a most iconic regular season game, but iconic moment maybe from the season. Iconic weird moment, anyways.
No, yeah, having that, it's just crazy. The number of times they reattempted that 2-point conversion is crazy. Like people got to study that. Um, but yeah, now I remember. So yeah, I don't. So to do it again, I don't know if the Lions can do it again. I don't know. But the thing is Goff wasn't even playing that well again. He had 2 picks. They let me pull up the stats from that game. Anyway, you I guess you can give your pick. Who did you had Dallas in the conference championship?
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas over Tampa. Unfortunately, mine's a little bit easier than yours.
Fortunately. Uh
Would the Lions fans be
let's
happy
see.
to end it there against the Cowboys? Because they have that playoff history with
Again?
I was gonna say with the catch, the whole thing. So
Yeah. I mean, just because that was like a little bit. Also shout out to CeeDee Lamb setting the
yeah,
receiving record. Yeah, 16th straight home victory. Wow, these guys are just yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's so close between the two that, it came down to I think the Cowboys keep it though. They're at home. They're perfect at home, and they keep it up. I'm gonna go Dallas in the conference championship. It just feels right. I don't know. I really think Dallas will be on a mission, and I think the Lions, they're still trying. They're still kind of new, and yeah, I think that home field advantage matters a lot. Playing in a dome, because I think if they're well, I guess the Lions do too, but I think getting the home field advantage. I'm
I
taking
think
Dallas.
you're right. I think the Cowboys are going to make a run.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make a
Okay,
run.
and then so our two conference championship, Ravens and Chiefs at Ravens and Dallas at 49ers. We both have 1 and 2. I don't know, Rem. Are we doing something? Or I guess the Chiefs are at third place. So one and
One
three
and
against
three.
1 and 2. Yeah, pretty much to chalk here.
That seems pretty
Um,
good though. That's a good mix.
yeah.
Both one
Yeah,
seeds,
who is
but
in your Super Bowl? Who's in your Super Bowl and who's winning it, I guess. We can just go all the way.
are you? Yeah, and this is just the rapid fire bracket. These are unofficial picks off the record. These don't count. Are you,
Yeah.
so you're going with the graphic. You're going Ravens Niners. You said the NFL told us already what the Super Bowl is going to be.
I'm telling you, they did. They did. I think it's gonna be. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I do think it's gonna be Ravens Niners, and I don't know. I feel like Shanahan chokes it again. I really do. I'm telling
Ooh,
you, I really think bright lights. It's the quarterbacks that step up, and you see the difference. It's just it takes a quarterback, a great quarterback, and I don't feel like just not feeling it from Purdy. I'm telling you, I think Lamar is going to be a Super Bowl MVP.
is there any way I could talk you into that graphic being Cowboys Chiefs?
Mm. I don't think the Chiefs have enough to beat the Ravens. It's just they're gonna get stomped. They're gonna get curb stomped. I could
You
see
think you get
Cowboys pulling
stomped?
this upset. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are curb.
You don't think? I don't know. I just think Rasheed Rice a week off, maybe Travis Kelsey pulls it together. I mean,
Prayers.
if Travis Kelsey has to flip a switch here, right? Because that's the thing. That's
Hopefully.
honestly kind of what I'm banking on. And I'm not even saying he has to have like 150 yards a game through the playoffs, but if he's in that 90 yards a touchdown, reliable on third downs, I still just think in the AFC, Mahomes is in this year still, with the way the landscape looks. I still think Mahomes is a pretty safe bet. Chiefs Cowboys 25-1 on FanDuel, 2 and a 3 seed.
Yeah.
I think people are hesitant to pick the Cowboys in the Super Bowl just because obviously it's the Cowboys in the history. But I mean, the thing is, Dak has looked good this year. And his one
Yeah,
bad game is against the Niners. So if he gets that redemption, who knows?
I mean, I could see it. I could see it in terms of the Dallas making it there to the Super Bowl. But it's just yeah, it's just I just don't see it from the Chiefs at all. Making it in there. So I mean you can make an argument for Dallas. I think their rankings, their defense, their offense. CD Lamb right now is playing on another level. He's playing great. Some of their defensive pieces, they still have Micah Parsons on this defense. We've known him to be an MVP level player. So, if the 49ers, knock on wood, get maybe they might end up having some injuries happen here or something. I could see some stuff happen, but the Chiefs, there's just I don't. I think it's gonna take all they have just to make it to the championship, and then they can finally be put to rest there.
So I guess the only other teams that could match those color schemes, I guess, could be the Texans. They could be a little purpley or a little orangey.
Yeah, yeah,
They got
I
a little red, a
guess.
little
I mean,
blue.
they're blue. Yeah. I mean, who were you saying was your pick?
I had Chiefs Cowboys in this bracket.
Wow. And who do you have winning?
Well, I couldn't pick Mahomes. I couldn't pick against Mahomes in that game.
Wow, back to back. Okay, Rem. Just like our first Super Bowl, you're a bigger fan than me. I'm down. I really, it's not.
Is that the
I don't
recipe for a
know.
Chiefs win? Because that's the way it was looking last time, I think, or at least in
Oh
that
my
2019.
gosh, 2019. Yeah. I don't know where all this faith is coming from for a rookie wide receiver, tight end who hasn't cracked 100 yards in like 7, 8 weeks. I love this defense. The defense is not the issue. I mean, the defense is going to be the reason we win. We just need. I mean, maybe they actually have Clyde Edwards-Helaire run the ball. We just need to become a lot more of a run first team.
I think the Bills are scary too. Honestly, I think that the problem is I'm a little too in on the Texans. Like, I think if the Texans
Yeah.
could win the AFC, then that means Mahomes probably should win the AFC. Is kind of what I end up keep going back to. But if Josh Allen didn't throw so many picks this year, I would feel a lot better about the Bills too. They may, they could work in that color scheme. They got a little red. I think the blue to
Yeah.
purple could be stretching it, but the red you could fit in
There
there.
you go. Yeah, it works. It works. I don't know.
Unfortunately, the Dolphins are out.
Oh,
And I guess
really?
this,
Yeah.
well,
I
yeah, I guess
it's well, if they're beating the first round, yeah, they don't.
they don't have the
Okay,
colors.
continue.
The Steelers don't have the colors. The Eagles are out too, unfortunately. Green.
Yeah.
Last year was their year.